Because the story that it's telling you is that there's something wrong with you, that you're weak, that it's all BS. That's not true at all. It's not true. He's the ultimate persuader. He's the ultimate salesman. He's the ultimate politician. He's so good, see, that he can convince you every time you look in the mirror that that's the ugliest reflection that the world has seen. You know that's not true. So tell me exactly what's going on, like what's happening.
So basically, starting basically the beginning of sophomore year last year, I became super depressed because I was basically, it started with my classes, doing bad in my classes, and I usually have pretty high expectations of myself, and it was just the repeated failure after failure.
Like you failed the classes?
Not failed, but I just didn't.
You weren't doing as well as you should be doing?
Yeah, I was on...
Who's putting... Well, first of all... Okay, keep going. I want to keep listening.
I did bad enough where I was on academic probation.
Okay.
So it basically started with that. That got me down, and then it kind of translated into how I thought of myself and, like, the thoughts I was having towards myself. Like, I wasn't capable of doing it, and I wasn't smart enough, and then that... It basically, like... my cognitive function basically all went away, and I was having like no thoughts besides negative thoughts about myself, and I couldn't interact with people anymore, and I couldn't even like make sense of my own thoughts to myself a lot, and I just basically felt like a walking shell.
Yeah, and it's almost like, first of all, that's exactly what it feels like, and it's like this permanent mountain on top of your head. It's like your head's heavy, your chest constricts and all that stuff, right? First of all, I just want you to know it's very normal. There's nothing wrong with you. This happens to a lot of people. One of the coolest things that helped me out was when people actually said, this is normal, and that a lot of people felt this way. And actually, a lot of the good ones feel this way. Meaning, if you didn't have intelligence, if you didn't care, you wouldn't have these feelings. Because if you didn't care, you'd just be like, yeah, fuck it, who cares, right? I'm just gonna go do my thing, and I don't care if I fail, I don't care if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fact that you care. The mind is a tricky son of a bitch, and I didn't realize this until much later and it's actually based on science, that the mind is a thinking machine. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The mind is a thinking machine. All its job is to do, it's like millions of neurotransmitters a second, right? Are just popping. You have an average of 50,000 thoughts a day. Think about that. 50,000 thoughts a day, right? 90% of it is just fantasy. It's just garbage. It's all just traffic. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what my point is that when you take the thoughts personal, that's when bad stuff happens. When you look at the thoughts for just what they are, meaning they're just thoughts and they come and go, but there's something that doesn't come and go inside you that's observing everything, you're able to detach the weight, the heaviness of the thought. Because a thought can only live if you give it a lot of meaning. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like a thought just comes and goes. Like I have a million thoughts when I drive on my way to school. I have a million thoughts. When you drive on your way to work, when you're walking just down the street, just from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you have tons of thoughts. Why do the ones that stick? What makes the ones stick? Think about that. As a matter of fact, don't think about that. Just let it breathe in here. I want to get you out of here and get you into here. What makes them stick is we put too much interest into them. What makes them stick is we give them too much attention. Think about this very carefully. A thought cannot live without you, but you can live without a thought. So which one's greater? Thoughts are just thoughts. It's like, think about this. Here's the best metaphor. You're the sky, and every thought is like a cloud that comes and goes. Some are stormy. Sometimes you have hurricanes. Sometimes you have little fluffy ones. Sometimes you have tornadoes. Sometimes you have, you know what I mean, thunderstorms. But they always pass. But the sky is untouched by that. You remain. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you have all the power. We think that, depression and anxiety, and by the way, I always advocate, I'm not a clinician, I'm not a doctor. I'm just speaking from my own experience. From 18 to 29, I experienced debilitating anxiety and depression. Every single day, my thoughts, it was the scariest shit on the planet. See? It was just scary because every single day I felt like, what's wrong with me? Am I losing my mind? Am I like, do I need to go see a doctor? Do I need to be on pills? Do I need to... And I went and saw doctors and I went and saw therapists, right? And so this is all coming from that experience too. And I would advise you, brother, go see a doctor too. Go see a... Have you ever seen anything like that or talked to anybody like that?
I've seen a therapist right now.
What do they say? Or what's kind of the advice that they're giving?
Just basically, like, they do talk about the thoughts and just don't associate with...
I mean, that's
thoughts.
easier said than done. It's easier said than done because they're your thoughts. And I think the way that they deliver it is differently. I'm sure they talked about cognitive behavioral therapy, right? Like, here's the thing. I could literally open up a psychology practice now because, Connor, I researched the crap out of this dude, right? All of my books are about this dude. Okay, I'm going to send you a copy of my free book. Take out your phone. It's called A Conversation with Fear, okay? So it's on Amazon. I want you to take out your phone right now, and I just want you to see what it looks like, so when I send it to you, it'll make sense.
Okay.
I don't want you to buy it. It's on Amazon, but look up A Conversation with Fear by Peter Nez. My author name is Peter Nez, and it'll totally, that book will change your life. I want you to read it like tonight. I'm going to send it to you today.
Okay.
I'm going to literally, I have to go, it's on my laptop. When I get home today, I'm going to send you a copy. Look for your email, I'm going to send you a free copy, just a PDF of it. Okay. So a entire PDF copy of my book. It's called A Conversation with Fear. And it's literally a conversation. So I wrote that book about 10 years ago. It was just when I was kind of coming out of that hell, that misery. It was the most beautiful day of my life. The most beautiful day of my life, Connor, is when I finally realized it was like my true Independence Day. It was my true liberation. And I finally realized that I don't have to take this guy seriously. I don't have to take it seriously. It's like movies on a screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, on the screen there might be a flaming inferno. On the screen there might be gunshots and war and bulldozers and all sorts of craziness or romance or whatever. But when the projector's turned off, the screen is unharmed, is untouched. That's the beautiful metaphor. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't have to take it seriously. You can almost think of it like a movie. These thoughts that come and come and come, right? You're this, you're depressed, you're not good enough, you're not this enough, you're terrible, you didn't get good grades, you're not worth it. They're just thoughts. They're just little images. I thought I took them so seriously that every single time those images would come, and tell me if this feels like it resonates with you. Every time that thought came, every time those images came, I would go, holy shit. Like, oh my God, like, why are they? It must mean they're important. It must mean like there's something wrong with me. It must mean like if I'm thinking the thought, it must mean that like I've got a problem. Completely untrue. Connor, it's completely false. They're just thoughts. They're just images. You don't have to take them seriously. You get to decide how seriously you take them. Everything comes and goes. This too shall pass. Don't ever forget, this too shall pass. Does that make any sense? I mean,
Yeah.
do you know what I'm saying, Connor?
Yeah, I
and
do.
like this book that I'm going to send to you, it's called The Conversation with Fear. Let me see. Is your book unlocked? Is your phone unlocked?
Yeah.
Unlock your phone. I'll look it up for you. Oh my God, Connor, I can't wait. As a matter of fact, hold on, dude. I thought I had the hard copy. Yeah, that's it. That's it right here. This is my book. For everybody at home, that's it right there. Nice screen, by the way, see? That's the book. But that's the book.
Okay.
You see that right there?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to send you a PDF of that. It's literally what the book is about. It's literally like a conversation with fear. It's literally it's like told like a one-act play. It could almost be acted as a one-act play. The main character is named Sam, after my son, who's really everybody who has problems with fear, including me. It's a composite of all these characters. And he's literally having a conversation and fear with an entity called fear, and fear is teaching Sam how to overcome them. It's my favorite book. It's the book I'm the most proud of. And because I love conciseness, it's only like 60, 70 pages long. You can read it in an hour. And I guarantee you, it's based on my entire 15, 20 years of dealing with anxiety, depression. And by the way, here's the thing, like, you're gonna learn how to deal with it. You're gonna learn how to deal with those feelings and those thoughts. My biggest advice to you is don't put too much interpretation into it. Don't get entangled in the story that it's telling you. Because the story that it's telling you is that there's something wrong with you, that you're weak, it's all BS. That's not true at all. It's not true. He's the ultimate persuader. He's the ultimate salesman. He's the ultimate politician. He's so good, see, that he can convince you every time you look in the mirror that that's the ugliest reflection that the world is seeing. You know that's not true. It's not true. You get to decide how seriously you take this. That's a beautiful feeling for me. When I first experienced that, like truly experienced that, I felt that I could breathe for the very first time. And I want you to feel that. And I'm here for you, man. Anytime you want to talk about it, anytime, I'm here for you, brother. Because this is like the closest thing to my life. This is more important to me than personal branding. This is more important because it's related to all that. It's the epicenter for all that. Knowing who you're not is sometimes a great bridge or a great line to who you really are. So sometimes discarding everything, what remains is who you truly are. And who you truly are is this beautiful soul, this beautiful being, this beautiful consciousness that experiences everything just naturally, without being affected by it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more. And tell me how this is helpful, if this is helpful. If you have any other questions or anything.
Yeah, it definitely is helpful. I